There are those who speak and those who listen. But every so often, someone shows up who does both with uncommon purpose and an open notebook in hand. Nicole Banks is a power connector, a woman whose network doesn't just span industries, it sparks movements. For more than 2 decades, she's solved problems others run from, built what others said couldn't be done, and highlighted the wisdom of giants, one page at a time. This is Nicole's Business Notebook, a curated circle of brilliance, a behind-the-scenes pass to the strategies, stories, and secrets shared by the experts she calls friends. It's not just a show, it's a blueprint for those bold enough to build. So settle in, because the notebook is open.
Hi, it's Nicole Banks with Nicole's Business Notebook. We have Bobby Delaney and DJ Barton here today. We branding and sales experts in the house to help us to kind of learn from an entrepreneur's perspective how we can be better when it comes to our branding, our sales, to improve our businesses. So really excited to have both Bobby and DJ here today. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Bobby, let's start with you. You are kind of all things creative. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, what you're about, and what type of projects you could help businesses with?
Pretty much a lifelong student of the arts, been in the graphic design and illustration field for over 15 years, helping as a brand designer, pretty much helping brands and companies build out every facet of their company creative wise, whether that's their branding and logos and how their company's presented, from their products and services, how those get to the customer, and then their marketing and advertising, how the customer sees that, the message that's sent to them, and what brings them into the company's ecosystem.
Amazing. So the creative side of the business then.
Yeah, everything that the customer sees, essentially.
That's awesome. So, entrepreneur has an idea about a business or something, but they may not have the tools to kind of put pen to paper when it comes to their logo or branding. How do you work with clients?
It's pretty much a step-by-step process, and getting to understand who they are, what their goals are, and working through kind of what they want their company or their business to be and how they want it represented. And that ultimately kind of lays the foundation to what ultimately is their brand.
That's amazing. So, we get through that, all the marketing side, and then we get to DJ, who is the king of sales. Can you tell us a little bit about you, your experience, how you work with clients?
Yeah, no, I got started in entrepreneurship and sales and marketing and business 28 years ago, and just fell in love with, just working with individuals. I love people. I love the human connection. And, a lot of people do business with people first versus companies. And so I got into it because, didn't want to go to college, barely graduated high school, and everybody hires salespeople right out of school and see if they can sink or swim. And that's how we got our teeth cut, if you say, as they say. And, sales is the number one industry in the world for, business, and without sales, nothing moves around. So definitely love what we're doing. And entrepreneurship is such a powerful tool out there. We live in such a world of opportunity right now, and there's so many opportunists in the world, and it's all about connection, right? And finding a need and filling it and serving the people. And when you can start creating connections and adding value to people, and start not just focus on what your end game is, but focus on what their end game is. We all have heard in business, when you help enough people in life get what they want, you automatically get what you want, right?
Yep. No, I love that. And it really is a movement. I say, that many hands make light work. And, collaborating on the marketing side and the branding side and then the sales side, and finding those individuals, if you don't have those skill sets, that can either be outsourced or brought on your team or partnered with, I think it can be incredibly useful. So this is kind of two sides of the same thing, making things look pretty and making people buy them. So Bobby, from your perspective, how does branding help sales?
It pretty much kind of lays the foundation of the marching order, so to speak, to help the salespeople know exactly the right kind of language to use, the right kind of pain points the customer might be experiencing to reel them in, and those kind of people to go after. And it's kind of sets up the proverbial sandbox that they get to play in, at a base level.
Yeah, that's amazing. And obviously you've sold a lot of different things. How does good branding and marketing make your job easier?
It's huge. Very transparently, I actually just recently hired Bobby.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he was going to be here today. But in our world that we live in, 2025, everything is about stopping the scroll, if you think about it in our terminology, right? Like when you're walking down the aisle, it's getting that attention. And truthfully, the marketing makes the salesperson's job 10,000 times easier, because if you have the right packaging, the right branding, the right messaging, all we're doing is we're following that path along the way. And to me, the marketing is as valuable, if not even more valuable, than the sales process and the sales cycle with what we do. So if you can align yourself with an incredible marketing mind with branding, design, graphics, a lot of guys I meet that are in that space are more on the introverted side, and the salespeople are typically on the extrovert. But it's like that yin and yang relationship, because we can't do our job without Bobby, and Bobby can't do his job without us, because we got to move the product. Once he creates that brand and that great look, feel, and touch, it's our job to go sell it. But also, if you think about it, I'm going to steal his term, party on the front, business on the back. When you're going through all the aisles and different things you're doing in business, the excitement is on the front. Because even though we're taught not to do this, everybody judge a book by its cover. Let's just keep it real, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't read 2 or 3 chapters, then decide to read the book. You pick up the book because of the branding on the book, right? You buy what's in the store because of the branding. You buy the car because of the marketing and the branding that makes you're going in to buy that car. The sales job is just assisting you on what decision's best for you and your family. A kind of almost like a salesperson is looking at the picture, not in the frame. Like I always tell people, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. Yep. So having, our job is just assisting people on their needs or wants, desires, find a need and fill it concept. But these guys just make it look good.
Right. Bobby's super talented.
Gee, thanks.
Thanks. So
there's a reason why everyone keeps the Apple boxes.
That's true.
Right? When you think about it, everyone has a iPhone or iPad or whatever. They hold on to it, and it's like, no, you can throw that away. But right. They create such an experience, the brand, that people hold on to it.
It's true.
And it's a cool box. Just throwing it out there.
I have my box for my iPad, my iPhone, right? My computer. I'm like, what am I doing with this stuff?
Right.
But I hold on to it just because it's like nice. It's good quality. It's thicker, what it's made out of.
Yeah.
And it's all the image and branding.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So happy to hear that you guys are collaborating, and that is kind of a main sort of point for me and kind of how I do it with my business friends and that whole bit. So can you talk about kind of high level how you guys are working together, how it came to be, kind of the process that you guys are in, and kind of show how sales and branding and marketing can work together?
Yeah.
Well, inadvertently, it's also your fault.
Yes.
So,
it is. Shame on you.
We got connected
money.
at one of your events, and just started talking. And just so happens that I had done package design in the past, and he's right at the phase of developing his packaging for a product, and it just bloomed into a relationship from there, and just talking about every piece of it. What it looks like, how it feels to the touch, the sizing and different elements that are going to go onto it.
Amazing.
Yeah, we met at your networking event.
Yep.
And when he told me what he did, because I had him go first, more or less, on what he was doing, and he didn't really know what was happening on mine, because I was indirectly interviewing him with the idea in my hand. Like, all right, let me see if this guy's got what it takes. And so I was just asking him a lot of great questions and drilling down on what he does and what his passion is and trying to read his body language to see if he lit up around it, because you want to work with somebody that's going to create your brand that's excited and passionate about what you're doing.
For sure.
And so to Bobby's point, we have another company that I'm an invested owner in, and we're at the part now where we're looking for the labeling, the packaging, before it goes to fulfillment. So we hit it off, called him back a day or two after, I think it was. And I sent him some examples of what we're launching, and he got excited about the concept. And I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like he's never done this type of product before. And it's going to stretch him and add it to his resume to open up maybe doors down the road too. I'm always looking at those angles as well. So I'm excited to see the finished product, or at least the first run here in the next couple of days. But we're going to keep it quiet what the surprise is and unveil it at the right time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Super excited. And that's one thing I love about, throwing the events is to hear these stories about the collaborations, the businesses, the business itself that's created. So, so happy that, this was a serendipitous,
You didn't know that was happening, did you?
Right.
Well, I mean, okay, to be honest, I was like, Bobby, you need to go meet DJ at the meeting. So I made sure that the meeting happened, but y'all obviously took it further, and I'm so excited to see kind of what you have going on and the collaboration, and hopefully it's one of those packages that I just hold on to forever, and we heard it here first.
So I have a question though for you. So did you know before that we were all getting together today that he and I talked afterwards and started collaborating on some ideas?
Nope.
I love that.
Yeah, which is just kind of like serendipitous.
Time means everything.
Yeah.
Time means everything.
And
Manifestation's a real thing.
I think that's really cool because, when it comes to the networking events, I have sponsors and vendors and that whole bit, but it's a free thing for entrepreneurs to come in to really try and do better business together. And so I had this thought of, what could potentially happen. And then I'm hearing these stories from you. Shad Bucket is actually also collaborating on a completely new business with one of the people that he met at the event. So not only is, amazing collaborations and partnerships happening, like completely new businesses are being created. And I think that is really, the point of networking, collaboration. What I'm so excited to be here and do this for, is to have that better business created. So I'm very excited to hear, and I can't wait to see what y'all have together and brewing. And, I think, that collaboration is king. It makes us all.
Well, you should be proud of yourself too, because you put that meeting together and you're helping the ripple effect go through our community. And with what you've done and what he's doing for me and what I'm bringing to the market is going to be a global product.
Yes.
And the domino tipped with you. So good job. You should be proud of yourself.
Whoop. It's working. That's amazing. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's, you don't know the effect until, sometimes weeks, months later of how things are progressing and the whole bit. So I feel the movement. I feel the collaboration. We were actually at a networking event last night together, and you said one thing that kind of resonated with me is Phoenix is the mecca for new entrepreneurs. And I really think that with the collaboration, the different networking groups, everything that's really happening here, not saying that it's not happening other places, but I feel like it's kind of a fire stick here and what it's doing. For us, the collaboration, all the different events and things that are being produced, I think it's incredible. So, you're in Phoenix. How long have you been here? Where did you move from? Is Phoenix home forever? What are your thoughts?
Hopefully it's my home forever. I would certainly hope it to be so. I moved here 3 years ago. From San Antonio, Texas, and born and raised just outside of Chicago. Before that, got a job with a apparel company called Grunt Style. Right after hire, they said, "Hey, we should have told you this beforehand, but we're moving the company in 6 months." I was like, "All right, well, that's a good opportunity to maybe get out of Chicagoland and find a place for myself." And then couple years into with them, a company came along and essentially poached me from them, saying, "We love the work you do, and we want you to help us with our projects, and help them turn that around immensely, exponentially." And then they moved me out here to build out a satellite office. And when things got kind of rough economically, they changed direction, so I did too. But it was pretty much a 17-year journey to get out here into Phoenix.
It's amazing. Quite the journey. And now you have your own company. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's called Paddock Creative. It's inspired by my favorite movie franchise, Jurassic Park. And essentially I'm developing it to be a creative agency that helps businesses bring their imaginations to the forefront and unleash them within and tell their story about their business, their brand, their product.
So basically kind of umbrella over the whole creative department of entrepreneurship. You can basically help anybody.
Yep. We are essentially your business, your brand's creative department.
Amazing. And I heard through the grapevine from a little bluebird that you also have another position just actually live today with Six Sigma funnels. Can you tell me a little bit about that journey and kind of what you're looking to do for them in the future?
Yeah, so I've been helping them develop their branding. The Six Sigma funnels is more or less a big networking platform that assists entrepreneurs get their message out there and meet as many people as possible, connect with them, and build those relationships and focus on the communication and the building rapport with people. So I've been helping with that, develop out the branding, the process, and that experience that people are going to go through as they onboard into the system and get help in their business.
Amazing. Very excited to see that develop. And as we are going to see the product stuff, we'll obviously see Six Sigma funnels in the future. And
absolutely.
See Bobby's stamp all over it.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. And DJ, to you, kind of, are you a native? Are you new to the area? Kind of what's your story and what are you doing now?
Yeah, you know what? I moved out here when I was 18, so just not too long ago.
Right.
And came here for the American dream. I grew up in a small town in Minnesota. And that's when I got introduced to direct sales and network marketing and affiliate marketing and, just got inspired by personal development and got connected with a lot of companies, bounced around a lot of different states. And Arizona's been my home base, but I leave for years and come back. And I recently just came back. It'll be a year in May. And so, yes, this is my home. I love it here. Like you said, and like we talked about last night, this is the Mecca. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here, like-minded people. People want more than a status quo. And there's a lot of high quality life here and humble people here. And I just love the energy here and the vibe here. And this is a great place. Doesn't mean everybody needs to move here, but it's a great place.
Right?
Stay put. But ultimately, this is definitely home. We love the weather here. I mean, people have a different energy and a bounce to their step when it's sunny out. And when it's sunny here, almost like 350 days a year, for me and my personality, when it's, that June gloom in the Midwest, you just are lethargic and all you want to do is sit on the couch and watch, reruns of your favorite movie, right? So yes, this is home. I love the opportunity. I love the people, the human connection here. Arizona's a great place to be from and move to. Right. And it's awesome. I love it here.
That's amazing.
Yep.
All right. So obviously you have the Hush Hush project that we will soon hear all the things about. But can you talk about Lavardi? And I think there's a retreat in our future in sunny Belize. Can you tell us about that? You know what?
I fell in love with travel early on in my life. My dad passed away a month before my 7th birthday. And he was the epitome of travel, fun, spontaneous. Took me to Wisconsin Dells and to Disneyland and, the river and all these things. And that was just what I loved and what I loved most about my connection and relationship. And that's what I remember the most, because when you're 6, you don't remember everything from your childhood prior to that point. And so through life, I've always found a love for travel. And I found myself as the #1 earner of a company a year and a half ago, and the owners and executives made a lot of promises they had no intentions in keeping. So we put our money where our mouth was. They offered us a deal to stay and be quiet. I call it a hush-hush contract. But my partners and I, prayed about it and realized that's not who our personalities are. Yeah. And so we put our money up, self-funded our own company. It's a travel company. We help people make extra money leveraging our tools and systems, go on amazing vacations, and create memories and experiences with the people they care about the most. And we got an incredible community, as you know. Mm-hmm. And I love the human connection because of my networking group.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come today. What I'll say is when you make that human connection, when you find ways to work together, beautiful things happen. And
absolutely.
Looking forward to collaborating on the retreat. Seeing this hush hush thing that you all are working on, Six Sigma funnels, intentional speed networking, and all the different events that are coming. DJ has his own group that we'll talk about in our next episode. So yeah, really excited to kind of bring together you guys, and kind of thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out and talk about where you're at and where you're going and what you're doing. And, it's just more evidence of collaboration and the powerful ways that it can help us and our businesses. So thank you guys both very much.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much for heading to another Nicole's Business Notebook. We've had DJ Barton and Bobby Delaney, sales expert, branding expert, here talking about what they're doing in their businesses and how working together can lead to beautiful things. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Nicole's Business Notebook. Subscribe and follow for more tips, insider secrets, and hard-earned wisdom so that we can all do better business together. See you next time.